Hello there folks and welcome to part 10 of our MotoGP 19 playthrough on the rider career with ourselves in the Moto3 class. And today it's time for our home Grand Prix. Get in there finally. After 10 parts we get to race at Silverstone, the beautiful Silverstone circuit for the 2019 GoPro British Grand Prix. And then next up, also in today's episode, we have the San Marino GP, which is one I'm also fond of at the, I'm not going to pronounce that. We'll just say the Mazzano circuit. That makes things a lot easier to pronounce. So, I've got a bit of if I can get my words right, a confession to make before we start things off today. I was a bit overreactant, I would say, in Saturday's video, which was the last video. I'll also explain why there wasn't a video on Sunday, which is yesterday, in just a second. But I think I was a bit overreacting. So I was going, oh my god, we're way off, etc, etc. But looking at what's happened, it seems that, looking at the leaderboard to illustrate this better, it seems that for some reason, Buvemos and Garcia were coded to be the top two, where they're not. I haven't really got much knowledge of Moto3, but I did watch the Moto3 today, on Sunday when I'm recording this, Sunday evening. And I watched qualifying on Saturday, and it's clear Buvemos was absolutely nowhere, and Garcia's about mid-grid. So they've clearly been coded to be up there for no reason. So what this update does is fix the running order a little bit and puts Buvemos down where he should be, as well as Garcia. That does cause the problem I was talking about last episode, where the championship just gets really confusing now. But I suppose what will happen is that effectively Buvemos and Garcia will be knocked off the top for the likes of Darren Binder and Delaporte to go to the top. So I was a little bit overreacting about that. We've just got to deal with that. And with the difficulty, it's understandable really. We shouldn't have really been on the top. We were on 120 and we're like, this is fine. And that's what we were on up to now. So it's understandable that an update would fix that difficulty being on is too easy. That's completely understandable. I do understand that now. It's just a bit overreacting at the time, frustrated, and all those things. So apologies about that. But it's funny if you have a title that says new update equals broken game. How many more views you managed to get on the video? But there you go. But no, they haven't broken the game. But I will keep that as the title just because that's what my thoughts were in the video. So it does portray that quite well. But to cope with that, we have moved the AR difficulty down to 90% at realistic. But what we'll do is just do what we would normally do in a career mode. If it is proving way too easy for us, we'll move it up. If it is way too hard, we'll move it down further. I think that's absolutely fair to try and replicate a situation that was similar to earlier on in the season, because I think that's more enjoyable. Last episode certainly wasn't too enjoyable down at the bottom of the grid. Right, now, secondly, I might as well get into qualifying whilst I talk this through. It'll be a very quick one. Again, apologies for the big update at the start, but, you know, it's got to be done sometimes as well. Part 10, so bit of a celebration, why not? But there wasn't a video yesterday because there is going to be an update video on the channel today to explain that there won't be any MotoGP content on a Sunday. There will be MotoGP content on every other day of the week, so I'm sure you can cope with that. But there will be another series that takes over on a Sunday. So if you want to see what that is and you are intrigued, make sure to check out the channel update that went out on the channel today. Now, it might not have gone out today because you know exactly what I'm like. I haven't recorded it yet, so that might not go out. But if it does go out, make sure to give that a watch to see what's going on with the channel in the next few weeks and months. But now let's focus entirely on this episode. So we're going to Silverstone and San Marino. This is a Grand Prix I actually attended last year, and we all know what happened with that. It was called off. We went for the full weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, which is absolutely fantastic. It was my first MotoGP race, except it wasn't. But there we go. But Sunday was called off. Don't think that's going to happen in games. We're not going to quite get that luck in terms of not losing any points. But let's see how we get on in qualifying, and let's see if we can now compete on that slightly reduced difficulty level with the artificial intelligence that make up the Moto3 riders. Okay, that's a pretty alarming first lap. We're 3 seconds off the top time of Suzuki. Now, I did turn all the HUD off for that lap, apart from going around the last corner, just to try and focus and not be focused on any sort of times and deficits we've got. That being said, it was the first lap, so we've got 2 laps to try and improve. I just can't believe how we're only in third, but it's going to tell me in a minute. Probably only 3 people have set a time so far, but this is definitely a lot more challenging, but we can't really afford to move down the AI anymore. So I think it's just a case of getting used to the track and seeing how we got on. But being only 4 attempts down in that first sector, it's an improvement. So hopefully these 2 laps that we've set now are better than what we've set previously. Got to be positive in this game. Same point of the lap, second time round. What's it going to be this time? Now, we have improved quite significantly on our previous attempts, it seems, in terms of the time delta. Remember, we were 3 seconds off on the last lap, so any improvement on that would be fantastic. What is the time? It's well, that's fantastic. We've pretty much half the deficit there. I think that's something to really be proud of. Now let's focus on our final lap of the session. It looks like we're going to get through, because it seems like Suzuki's time is an absolute monstrous time. I don't know whether he's been giving a Suzuki MotoGP bike to that time. Whoever knew track evolution was such a thing? Wow. Well, from going to third, which unbelievably was 3 seconds off, it seems that, funnily enough, these are, I think that Suzuki and Agora are two teammates. I'm sure they are. I think they are. So that seems like our bike's pretty good. But going from 4th, which was 3 seconds off, and really the pace of most of these guys, to then going to a 21.8, and then improving by a second and a half again to a 20.3, I'm really proud of that. So we top a Q1 session for the first time in a while. Sergio Garcia tried a mix of Sergio and Garcia though, I think. But Garcia and Buvamos both go out, and that's going to be something we see for quite the regularity now, unfortunately. But let's now go and fight with our new rivals, the likes of Canitz, Dalla Porta, and I forgot who the rest are. That's a good start. Well, this looks like a very good attempt on our first lap in Q2. Now, I am guessing the AI are going to improve, because I don't think John McPhee's 21.6 is the best that the AI can do, personally. Obviously, with Suzuki doing a 20.3 in the last session would suggest about a second improvement like what we've done. Amazingly how we've improved by that much. But if we do take pole at a canter, I don't think we'll win the race. I don't think we'll win the race at the same sort of canter, to be honest, because it's just not that type of race, and it's not like, right, you qualify in pole, and that's so important. But if we do win at a canter in this Grand Prix, it's a home victory for a kickoff. But we are willing, I can be willing to turn the difficulty and tweak that as we go. It's going to be a bit of a learning process over the next few videos to see what our correct difficulty is now. But hopefully we have some competition in this session. Who knows? Aaron Canet might set a 217 and make me think, yeah, this is the right difficulty. Or maybe even lower. Well, we are on pole by nearly 2 seconds, which is bizarre to say the least after we had a 20.3 in that last session. I'm still confused by the difficulty, but let's see how we get on in the race, because qualifying, as we've learned in so many races where we've been pole, we haven't ended there, and vice versa for the race that we've started really poorly and we've finished really well. So let's see what happens. Qualifying is not everything.
Hello everyone, we're joining you live from Silverstone. Everything here is ready now for what should be another thrilling Moto3 race. The skies over the track are clear of clouds, and the latest weather reports forecast temperatures in line with the seasonal average.
Seasonal average, good one, Keith. It's actually dry in England. That's a surprise. 23 degrees as well. Very nice and warm. And very nice and warm for a Jones podium? A Jones pole. But of course, they don't want to show us. Niccolo Antonelli starts in second. That's a weird camera angle. Dalla Porta starts third. We've got Vietti in fourth. John McPhee way too far up the grid, to be honest, for his ability in fifth. Canet in 6th. We've got Migno in 10th. Fanati in 13th. Binder all the way down in 16th. That's a bit of a surprise. But of course, gone are the days where Buvamos and Garcia are on the front row. They are way down the grid on 22nd and 23rd place. Slots on the grid. So, here we go then. We're on the front of the grid for the first time in a long time. Whether we end the race there is debatable. It's a short run down to turn 1, of course. The old Silverstone layout, not gone to the new F1 layout. We start on the national pitch straight rather than the international pitch straight. But the lights are on for the riders for the 12th round of the Moto3 season. And we are away for the Grand Prix of Britain. Not the best start from us. We haven't been mugged. We have not been mugged by any stretch of the imagination. But we have been overtook. We're not now in first place. But that, of course, can be rectified fairly easily. But Dalla Porta gives that one up fairly easily. We certainly weren't mugged there, as I say. But we did lose out, which isn't really a surprise. There's so many variable starts that can go on in Moto3 and MotoGP as a whole, as this series. So it can work in our favour sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. But Dalla Porta's been took again. Antonelli looks like he's just up the road. Yeah, I don't know, but I think it might be a case of just propping up the difficulty a little bit. I think it's roughly where I want to be, but maybe by another 4 or 5 the difficulty. But let's just focus on this race, then we can tweak it afterwards. But Antonelli still holds the lead for now, but it's only 4 laps around here, so a fairly short race in the grand scheme of things. but plenty of lap time to try and get that first place back from Antonelli. And that'll do it. A good run through that last corner. A bit of a tap on the side. Hello there, Nicolo. And we have took the lead of our home British Grand Prix. Whatever difficulty this is on, if we get the win here, we should really celebrate it. And Bouvet down to 25th. That's a shame. We'll never see him in Moto 2, even though he had a brilliant start to the season. I can imagine Keith Ewan in the commentary box were going, what on earth is going on? What a brilliant start. And then, oh, the championship's changed altogether. Unbelievable. Well, unfortunately, we haven't been challenged for the victory unless we fall at Brooklands or Luffield. So the difficulty is going to have to go up. But that's something, as I said, with this new update, we're going to have to experiment with. Now, we're on 90 at the moment. I'm undecided whether to go for 95 or 100. So I'm going to on the harder side of that. And I think I'm going to go for 97 for the next race at Misano. But let's see how we get on. But let's just cheer for a home victory at Silverstone. I suppose it won't affect the championship that much. Because if you look at it like this, the two races which we absolutely tanked at last time out in Austria and the other one, where was it now? Austria and Brno. I suppose it acts as kind of 8 points a race, so 7 for 8 for every race is where we're probably going to be on average. That's okay, but as you can see, the championship now is really tight. We're only 6 points behind Della Porta, who's the effective championship leader, and 8 points ahead of Darren Binder, so it is very tight. As I said, we're going to increase difficulty a little bit, and let's see how we get on going into the race at Misano. This difficulty now looks about right. Yeah, we're 2 tenths off Suzuki in that session, but we get through to Q2, and joining us, and it's nice to see, for the first and maybe last time, it's Bouvet who's the first of the runners that are clearly below that 1:49 time. But a good lap from us, we can definitely improve, maybe by about half a second. But I don't think that'll be enough to take pole. But you never know, I suppose, that the AI only did, in theory, with in comparison with this, a 150 in the last race. Obviously doing a time, John McPhee was, I think, who was on the second row doing a 220, 221. Anyway, it was a second slower than our time in Silverstone, hence why I was saying, if we do a 149 again and everyone else does a 150, so a second slower than Suzuki, we'll be on pole. But just completely ignore what I've just said if you don't get it, because it was a bit muddled. But if you did understand that, fair play to you. But anyway, now on to Q2. So our first attempt is a 150.8, which puts us in 5th. For some reason, the game's glitching a bit in that it's not saying who's top. Let's just check the HUD's on for the timing. Yep, it is. So not sure why that's not loading particularly. How odd, I had my foot on the acceleration. That's just ruined that lap. So I'm gonna go back and rewind that, because I don't really see the point of going round for a lap unaided and with it being a waste of time if it's just a genuine check. There we go. That's actually fixed the bug. So Migno's got the fastest lap at the moment on a 1:49.3. Now we did a 49.5 in the last session. So let's see if we can replicate something like that. We might be very near to pole, but then again, that is one of the first laps of the session. Still plenty of riders to set a lap, so that pole time could be put down quite a bit. So we've now got a maximum of 2 attempts to do this time, and Della Porta's really set the bar high. So, as I said before, I think we've got a nice challenge, because we're about half a second off that time in our Delta, our fastest lap. So getting half a second is quite a realistic challenge, so I'm quite happy with that. I think we've got this bang on. But we're just a 10th outside of Della Porta's time in the first sector. As I said, we've got 2 laps to try and get this now, because we did come out at a good time fairly early on. 4 attempts down on him in that sector, but in this sector coming up now, we've got quite an exploit. I might as well show you. Well, it's not really an exploit, but there is this corner that the AI don't like to take particularly quick, and therefore we can really exploit them for that. I'll just show you, not particularly this one, because they can take this flat, as you can see from the racing line. But it's these next 2 corners the AI tend to, I mean, can it with a 48.7. As you can see, yes, you brake, but you carry a lot of speed through there, and I think you can visibly see that we do catch up to Rodrigo through those corners. But goodness me, Aaron can it with a 48.7. So the challenge is really good now, but let's see how this lap time puts us. As I said, we've got one more attempt we can have after this, but let's see if this puts us anywhere near the fighting zone. So around the last corner. Get a good toe off Rodrigo, that'll help up to the line. What is it going to be? It's certainly going to be an improvement, a 1:49.7, so still a second off can it, so we're really going to have to push on this lap to be anywhere near the top of the tree. Well, we haven't improved, unfortunately, on that time, so we're a second off, and I can take that. And we start the Grand Prix tomorrow from 10th place. Let's see what we can do from there.
Greetings from the Marco Simoncelli World Circuit in Misano, where the Moto3 race is about to begin. The weather forecasts are very reassuring. We'll have sunny weather for the entire duration of the race.
Only 7 races to go now. This championship fight is getting real at the Riviera di Rimini. That could be nowhere near here, but since it said on the first corner, I thought why not. But it's the Misano World Circuit commemorating the life of Marco Simoncelli, who unfortunately lost his life in the Malaysian Grand Prix. But let's see how we got on. It's always a good race for Misano, a nice circuit, a really good aggressive circuit. We've got Aaron Canet on pole and some interesting riders in the top 3. But we've got to finish in the top 5 to satisfy our new team objective. Winning that race is something I potentially regret because the team went, how about this, we'll increase your objective. Oh, thanks Honda. I suppose it gives something quantifiable for us to get up to. But as you can see, we're in 10th place. Quite a way ahead of Tober in 11th, but hopefully our race pace is better than our qualif pace to really put us in the fight for potentially a win, but hopefully more Grand Prix podium. But here we go then, for the 13th race of the Moto3 season. Not starting at the front of the grid makes traction control and our clutch start absolutely crucial. The lights are on and they are out. A little bit of a late delayed start there, but certainly not too bad. Keeping up with everyone. Okay, probably the top guys have pulled away a little bit, causing us to lose that place from Toba and a few others, which is a little bit annoying. But into the first corner, we have always got the advantage. Well, I say that, but we haven't really. But through these kind of corners, we can get the advantage. So we're back to where we were in 10th place. Can we make any gains? There's quite a spread of riders across the track. That Sky VR46 bike to our right was going a little bit too far up the inside. But that being said, we've gone way too far up the outside line. Don't want to hit anyone and fall off. We've done that all too often so far. But Boo Amos. No, it's Binder. It's Binder, his teammate. Oh, careful. Yeah, we've kind of cut up that Sky VR46 bike. But we've lost a few positions on the start. Got that Sky VR46 bike back. Don't want to brake too late into here and cause doing exactly what we did last time. This is okay. Oh, that's 2 riders going up the inside. But we'll just undercut them nicely. Back up to 12th. Now, this corner isn't one that I like particularly, as you might have seen before. The main aim for this one is not falling off. So we can concede a position or 2 here. That's not really a problem. But Vietti and Rodrigo. Vietti causing that, to be honest. Vietti hit Rodrigo. Vietti hit Rodrigo. But now it is probably our strongest 2 sectors of the track. So let's see how we get on. I'll cut off after the end of lap 1. But I want you to see the rest of the lap to see if we make any progress. But not a bad start. Okay, we've lost a few positions. But that's just the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Let's see how we get on through here. Don't want to fall off. That's probably the main thing. But we've definitely decreased the deficit to the guys in front. We've got Sky VR46 bike trying to go up the inside. And to be fair, I think Vietti's made it work. Whether we can get him back is a question. But probably we'll be able to increase our pace once A, we get into the race a little bit more. And B, once I shut up. Gives me a little bit of time more to concentrate. But a great run out of that corner. We've got Vietti. Let's see if we get into the first corner. If we can get Rodrigo, we should be able to. But Canet retains the lead for now. Can we get past Rodrigo into the first corner? I mean, we have to push him out, but even then we can't get the move done. But a good start from Darren Binder on the green power bike. Let's see if we can get past Rodrigo once for all, and we can there. It's amazing, I haven't been able to cut away yet. This is so action-packed. Hopefully a better break in there. Yeah, much better towards the inside. Thanks, Rodrigo, for that little tap. Right. Yes, I will. No, I can't, no, because we're just behind Darren Binder. This is ridiculous. I will cut away at some point in this race. But I suppose this excitement makes up for the real lack of excitement we had in Silverstone. Round the outside, though. Bit of a bold move. That turns into the inside as the AI brake a little bit later. But we didn't really fool Binder as we did with the other 2 guys last lap. So that's a little bit of a pity. We are close to Binder here, so I wonder through our little fast spot whether we can gain enough momentum to make a move possibly into the slow corner. Let's have a look how we get on. Don't want to cut any corners or fall off, that would be stupid. We are closer though to Binder, but we wouldn't really dare unless we were really close to moving to that corner. But as we saw on the last lap, this is a good sector for us. I'd be happy with getting back up to 10th place, to be honest, to regain our position that we had on the grid. I know it said top 5 was the aim, but we've got to build up to that top 5. Good move up the inside of Binder. And that's another place gained on the end of lap 2. Brilliant stuff. End of lap 3. Could be sizing up the move for McPhee here. He's a little bit too far ahead to go for it at the moment. But we do like pulling the move potentially into turn 2 and 3. Get a good run out of here. Maybe pop it up the inside. No, McPhee's really defending that line really well. even though I criticised him earlier on in the episode for saying, oh, he's crap. But keep it focused into here. To be fair, we've outbraked him a little bit. But funnily enough, he's outbraked himself massively. Can we go up the inside into here? Would we dare? We've just tapped in to let him know that we're there. Can we get the undercut? Not the best turn really there, but we've got momentum out of there, which is important. We're just about a 10th behind McPhee. We're just to the left-hand side of him now. We've got our front tyre in front of us for the corner, but will we manage to get the move secured into the corner? I have a feeling John McPhee might try and get us back here. He's tried for it, but can we get the undercut? Potentially. I think we braked a little bit too late into there, and we've lost that position again. But possibly we can gain it back here. Again, this is a horrible corner for us, so I don't think we will. Just that long corner, and we're not very good round there. But, as I said, our good part of the track's coming up, so potentially we can get McPhee back and have our eyes set on maybe improving our grid position by taking Foggier for 9th place in this race. Well, that's a good run on John McPhee out of the last corner. I was so excited that I got all my words muddled up. But he is still on the inside. We got a good run out of the last corner. He's going to go up the inside. We're going to have to give him the room, unfortunately. But he's going to now have to give us the room to go up the inside here. It's a tough braking zone that time. But John McPhee makes the move back there. He's really in a good battle with us. Fair play to him. But now we switch to the inside line for this corner. I think we can cut back to our usual line. Forcing John out a little bit wide. Don't want to get involved in a crash, but I think, ooh, that was close. If it had been any closer, we would have tapped his rear wheel and fell off. But I think that's the move on McPhee confirmed for 10th place. Now our sights are set on the VR46 Protégé. Foggier in 9th place. We're really close behind. If we can get a good move, good momentum as we did against John McPhee, that's like we could get on the right just to say we're there. And sayonara to Foggier. We've moved into 9th place. We shouldn't really move forward anymore unless there's a crash on the final lap involving any of the top 8 or unless any of them are really slow for any reason. But I'll definitely take 9th place in this Grand Prix. We are quick round here and we've been lucky to get 9th and 10th, but I think 8th was just a step too far. But a good race. I think we've found our right difficulty. You could say, well, tweak it down a little because you are a little bit off the top pace. I think we'll find that pace over time. So I think that provides a good challenge. But Aaron Canet wins the Italian Grand Prix of Misano, and we have to be impressed with that. We've improved our 10th place grid position, albeit only by 1, and we finished in 9th. But as you can see, our times were pretty comparable, very nice actually, with the rest of the grid. Only 2 tenths off the fastest lap by Canet, and 5 tenths off Ramirez's time for the overall fastest lap. So the championship now looks like this. Dalla Porta now leads from Bouvet-Amos, Canet, and ourselves. You're going to ignore probably Bouvet-Amos and Garcia now. So there is 31 points between the top 5. So we've 6 rounds to go. Seriously, anybody could win this championship. With topsy-turvy results like we've been getting the last few races. Whether it'll calm down now we've got a consistent difficulty, that's debatable. But honestly, I think anybody could win this championship. So the end of the championships really is nigh. There's only 3 more episodes, 3 more days until this Moto3 season is done. Leave down below who you think is going to win the championship. And apologies for not having an episode yesterday. But hopefully this great episode has made up for it. So next time in tomorrow's episode, we go to Aragon, another Spanish Grand Prix. And then to Thailand for the Shanghai International Circuit PTT Thailand Grand Prix. If you're looking forward to that, make sure to leave a like on this video, comment down below and subscribe for a notification when that video comes out. But thank you very much for your company today. I have been TIJ Gaming, and until the next time, I'll see you all later. Goodbye for now.